In the last video on my Porsche 968, I removed the non-functional amp, CD changer, and aftermarket radio, revealing a mess of wires I called a problem for future Jason. Well, in this video, I sort out that mess of wires and install a new functional head unit with a fancy backup camera. First, I'm going to get rid of all the extra wiring, starting with the cable running to the CD changer.
Oh. Whew. Yeah, it just has some metal clips in there. Well, that was lucky. Oh, here it is, look. Ah. I'm gonna leave this off because if I can actually get a stereo figured out, I'm gonna put a backup camera in this thing. This is just Velcroed over here. The Velcro is very convenient. There's a wooden board here. Let's take it up. It's sticky. This is turning out to be an ordeal. All right, I had to actually release this whole panel, and this wire is actually threaded around, and it's covered in goo. I'm just gonna cut it because this is gonna make it way easier. There. I actually am gonna put that back together right now because I'm not gonna mess behind all that. That is back together. This is the wire. God, it's such a mess in there. So it's connected to that. So that should just disconnect. Right. Oh, look, so that's gone. I wonder what the original wiring harness is. So these are the speakers that have been twisted into this wiring harness. God, everything's sticky. All right, I'm gonna pull that down. That looks like the original wiring harness. This is something original too. That looks like an antenna. This is all that new wiring harness. I'm pretty sure this is all junk. These are speakers, because I just saw these. I'm gonna take these apart. Speaker wire, speaker wire, speaker wire, speaker wire. You go back in there. One of these looks like power. One of them's gotta be ground. Okay, I'm just gonna clip it. This looks like a ground. All right, good. It looks cleaner. And I probably can figure that out when I get the new stereo wiring harness. I have discovered a couple things. Stereoing is not as complicated as I might have initially expected. There's really only a few wires you need to find. 8 of the wires are speaker wires. There's 2 to each speaker. First thing I found out, I got this thing. This is a battery. I know for a fact that the rear speakers have been rewired with these. So I found out you can sound speakers. What that means is you take a little AA battery. That popping noise is coming from the rear back left speaker. Back left. And then this one, that's back right. Back right. So there's 8 speaker cables. I've already found 4. And then there's 4 more wires that are important. There's a ground, always power, and a power when the key's on, and then a dimmable power, which we'll have to figure out if I have. I want to find the ground first. To find ground, you have to find the wire that has continuity with a known ground. I just used the negative terminal of the battery, which that jumper cable is connected to. After first checking if the wire had power, which it didn't, I checked to see if it had continuity with the negative terminal of the battery. And it did, so it's the ground. There, all right, good. So yes, this brown one is my ground. This is ground. Now we want to find always on DC voltage, and I want to find one with the car turned off. It's gonna have volts coming through it. Okay, no. All right, well, let's turn the key on. So that's 12 volts, so that's key on power. To verify that, it went away. There's also one that when you have power will go down with the dimmer switch. I think I'm spinning the dimmer switch. There's nothing happening. Okay. Key on power. I just had to figure out the last 2 wires. I wasn't getting a good reading while I was recording. I had left little connectors on the end of the wires, and I think that was inhibiting my ability to get a good voltage reading. Once I cut those caps off and had a good contact point, one of the wires had 12 volts with the car on or off, and the other only had a little power when the car was on. With the 4 main wires labeled, I started hooking up the new wiring harness, starting with the power always on. I apparently started recording right after connecting the first wire, but before I was ready to test the connection. 12 volts, bam. All right, This is the key power, and I don't know what this green one went to. We're gonna assume this does something that the car needs, so we'll leave that in the setup. So this one is, red is accessory ignition. So now what I need to see is if this is in fact the accessory dimmable one. All right, here's the illumination dimmer. You know what though? I'm going to be smart. Watch this, guys. Sometimes I have bouts of genius. This is a temporary connector. That way, if it don't work, I can undo it. Ta-da! All right, then where was the ground? This is back right. Let's find that. I'm gonna just get this one plugged up, and so I have one speaker and the power, and then we'll see if this thing works. And then if it does, you don't have to watch me struggle to find all these speaker wires. In theory, you plug this into the back of here. There it goes. All right. Ha! Atoto. I did it. Source is off. Yeah, listen, it's working. Ha ha! I installed a radio, and we got one speaker. That's more than we had before. Ow, I just punched myself in the balls. God, that sounded awful. So this brown piece was plugged into this, which was plugged into the back of that aftermarket stereo. So I'm trying to find the front speakers. If you do the little sound testing, that's coming from this dude. And then if I do these two, that's coming from the door on the left side. So there's two speakers on the doors, like one on the door and one kind of in the pocket. But these two, they don't do anything. So look, that makes me think these two should be the ones over there, and these two should be the others over there. I'm just wondering if maybe I'm not getting a good connection. I'm just gonna take this thing apart. I didn't want to destroy the factory one, but I don't care anymore. How can you tell which one's positive and which one's negative? That's the next question. These two speakers did something. All right, these are front door right, okay? These shall be left middle. All right, moment of truth. That's a dental joke, and I apologize. So that does nothing. That makes me think the back one's gonna do nothing as well. Nothing. Could it be that one speaker on each side is bad? But these are clearly speaker pairs because look, the colors match. I'm just gonna ignore these. So those don't work. I did find out something too. The parking brake, if you don't know where the parking brake is, you just hook up to the ground. So I need to connect that. I need to cut that apart and connect that one to that one. The other thing I have is my camera. This is a little camera I got. But the first thing I got to figure out is how to get this thing into the car. There's little lights right here, like plate lights. Oh good, that's already broken. See this little plug? This is where the tail lights are coming through. I think I can get to that through the bottom. This is the light that goes in there. There's already a little corner piece that was chipped. So I'm just gonna snip this. I'm gonna make a little plus sign. And then this should go in here now. Yes, you live in there. I'm gonna reconnect there. God, the sun is directly into my eyeball. I literally can't see because of the sun. You would think it'd help me see. I'm gonna leave that side a little loose in case I need to pull. So it just get, that's a little thing I clipped. Let's pull that down a little bit more. Yeah. I can't get to it with my arm, but I can kind of flop the things at it. I'm gonna have to get a child to help me. Let me go see if I can find one. You guys have children just laying around? I usually do. Did you get both? Hot tamale. All right, there. Okay. All right. So now we just need to run that to the front. Gotta find the reverse light in the ground. This one's going to the headlight. So I unplugged it and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wires going into the back of that. One of those will be reverse and one of those will be ground. Okay, continuity testing to find ground. These are all connected. All right, whatever. I don't know. Okay, let's just see if we can find the reverse light. Let's go turn the car on. and turn the lights on. We got lights on, so we're just gonna see if we can figure out which light is the regular light. I'm just seeing if one of these is getting voltage. Barely, barely, barely. Oh, 10 volt, okay. So that's regular light. Car's in reverse. All right, let's find reverse light. So the blue and black one is the reverse light. I decided I want to connect it from this end, so that when I pull this off, this can stay by itself. So I need enough on either side that I can get like a shrink wrap sleeve on it. So we've decided this is the reverse light, or as Daniel will say, we haven't decided, it is. Red one first. And then I decided brown was ground. There we go. I gotta fling this to the front. Hoo-ha! All right, you're coming with me. I think pink says camera. Boop. My little cappy-doo. This is not the permanent connection. Okay. And this plugs into here. Rear front camera. RCIN. Okay. RCIN is camera. Okay. Let's see. All right. Hey, Toto. Kind of slow there, buddy. All right, there we go. Well, you probably have to have the clutch in. Ha! Success. All right, that's good. Let's see if I can show you what I did. So I went ahead and attached those, one of those little melty things, and then I just put some electrical tape to hold it together and some cable ties. And then it goes down, up, around the back of there. And then there was a hole over there. That one way back there. That little wire, whoop, to there. That came out through there. So then it runs down here behind this little coil. But then I attach it to the cable. Comes down here with this one. And then I cable tied it to this bundle. So there it is. There it is. And then it goes into there. This piece just Velcros up. So I pulled up the Velcro. It goes underneath there. Across the top. And then into here. And then it comes out right there. The same length as this little dude. Let's pretend like that didn't happen. Ta-da! What we gotta figure out now, this is the part that supports the radio. I need to get out this center area and then probably smooth some of this plastic. You might be wondering why I have the radio so close to the dust and the cutting surface. That's because I'm an idiot. You need to go over here. This already had a crack in it, but it's like, oh, there we go. Now I need to get through that metal. Okay, the way this goes on, this thing fits right here, I guess. Tighten them enough so it can still slide. Two on yonder side. So hopefully this all fits through here. Nope. Oh, it kind of does. No, it doesn't. That stupid screw head's too tight. The bottom one goes through, but the top one don't. And right there, yay, far out. You see those little scratch marks? That and the screw could pass through, because they could pass through this down here. So I need to cut that out. All right, I bent the one side and it actually kind of works, so I'm gonna bend the other side. What'd you do? I drew my little line. You only get one shot at this because it's kind of weak. And I did that. Ta-da! Well, how far do I want it to stick out? I mean, I just randomly stuck this one in there. We'll just do the same for now. Okay. All right, let's see. I think it needs to go in a little further. Painted that black, and that's gonna be good enough. That looks pretty good in there, I like it. I just need to, so there's a little clip that came with the kit that fills in that little divot, but it's tiny. So I'm just gonna use that to measure, and I'm gonna cut a piece of plastic that'll fit into that And if it's black plastic that just goes around there, you'll never see that. That's perfect. I finished up all this wiring. I couldn't get those other speakers to work. Where are they? They're the ones on blue tape. But yeah, I got all this working. So at least one speaker on the front should be on each side. And the parking brake is attached to the ground, since I don't know where the parking brake wire is. So we're just gonna bypass it. This is the antenna cable replacement that I ripped. And the way this works is it's just kind of got a hollow tip and this little clamp-o-majig. This little piece slides over the wire. That's going to come into play later. But look, this wire, it's like a coaxial cable, but God, it's super skinny, the middle one. So you got to get some of that exposed, and then you fray to the middle layer. You've got to thread this through here. Ah, there it goes. Ha ha ha. That clamps onto the little wire. Did I get it? Huh, who would have thought that? And then click it together. Lovely jubbly. Ha! Ow. That gets hot, so let it cool off before you check it. All right, so see, it's just got a little tip on it. Let me just cut that off of there. I want to get rid of this shelf. And the way I decided to do that was to drill out the spot welds holding it into place. There's one right there, and then one right here. That was my Christmas present. Ha! It's loose. That one didn't pop off like the other one did, but I can see that it wants to be. I'm gonna do the other side and then see if we can just push it on through. Or what, wedge it out there is what I'm trying to say. That just smells like poison. So I got one of those loose. All right, I got two loose. Trace loose. Okay, so it's loose. It just needs to come forward now. Oh. This is kind of awkward. Okay, what do I gotta do first? I'm not real sure where I'm gonna put all this stuff, but I'm just gonna go and stick it in there. Figure out specifics later. You probably can't see what I'm doing. Actually, last time I had this in one of these back gears. Antenna installed. Camera installed. All these lower ones don't need to be involved in this mess. Okay. It clicked. All right. This is the USB one. I want that to come back yonder. And this is the speaker. I want that to come back yonder too. All right. Toto. First of all, let's make a call. Can you hear me? Are you speaking?
Yes, I'm speaking.
It's only coming from one speaker though. That's weird.
Oh, crap.
Oh wait, no, there it goes. Can you say something again?
Oh, well, that lighting sucks.
All right, so that speaker works, this speaker doesn't. All right, bye. All right, hold on, here we go. Are you ready? All right, are you recording? All right, let's see this. Ha ha! I never took the cover off the camera. All right, let's see if that's any clearer.
Thanks for watching another episode of Skippy Rock.
Oh yeah, that's clear.
If you found this useful or at least entertaining, please like and subscribe and we'll keep making videos.